Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for a positive spin. Today we're going to be talking about Slotherhouse. All right. My history with this film is a little weird. Um, this was one I was actually curious about, but never purchased. I saw it was on Tubi, and I wanted to check it out to see if I would like it enough to own it. So I knew I had somewhere to go, and sometimes I do this, and it's not very smart. But I'll start a movie knowing I have somewhere to go, figuring that if I like it, I'll come back to it. Well, for me, that doesn't always work, and sometimes I forget that I started watching it to begin with. But this one I did. I probably watched the first 10 minutes of it, maybe, and I thought it looked silly but fun. Basically, the type of movie that I really wanted to see. So I kind of forgot about it for a while and intended to go back and rewatch it on Tubi. But then Joe had mentioned it to me, and I was like, okay. I saw the first few minutes and, thought it looked fun and, never went back to it. He said, well, we're going to do it for positive spin. I said, really? Well, it turns out that Slotherhouse has a 4.6 or 4.8. Can't remember now. On IMDb, and it's been trashed by a lot of people. Now, let me be the first one to say that if horror comedy is not your thing, you probably won't like this film. But if you're a slasher fan and can put aside a little bit of the silliness of this film, I really think that you would like it. That's just my opinion. Now, Slaughterhouse is about a sloth who kills a bunch of people, more or less, with those three claw things that it has. And right away, I like the setting. The setting was, of course, the jungle where they actually got the sloth from. They poached it. And the people that poached it actually wanted to sell it to a sorority as a mascot. And from there, all hell breaks loose, more or less. And that's as much as I'm going to give you as the synopsis. What I liked right away was the fact that this is going to sound very strange, but the sloth was practical and it was like an animatronic puppet. And I liked it because it looked real enough, but yet kind of fake enough to have fun with the movements. Because rather than it being CGI and actually looking better, I would rather the effects be practical myself. The next positive is going to be the sorority. The house is really cool, and of course, there's a ton of eye candy. Uh, Joe had said that one of the girls had played on a different movie. I'm trying to think of what the movie is now. Give me a second. But I'm going to keep on going. So the sloth comes across as being a nice, and it's a female, so it's a nice girl, sloth, until it's not. The kills are so much fun. And this is a movie that is downright silly. And this is another positive, by the way. It's downright silly, but it takes itself seriously. So it's inviting you to have fun with the film as it's going on. There are certain things that happen that the sloth does that I was just dying. It was so much fun. And the laughing The laughable parts were really fun. Also, the kills and all were really well done. And it was kind of creative. I mean, first of all, you're using a animatronic sloth, but the kills were actually pretty darn creative. And I really thought that the movie was made well as far as like the budget is concerned. Now, I know somebody had this idea and it sounds silly when you think about it. It's going to be a sloth that kills people. It's a slasher movie featuring an animatronic sloth. But somehow it works. It worked for me, and I know it worked for Joe. I don't understand why it is so low as far as a score. And I kind of, again, bring myself back to the point of, don't people want to be entertained? It's not supposed to be taken seriously, the movie as a whole, even though they do take themselves seriously in the film, which is why some of it is so funny. I just like the whole concept, and another huge positive for me was the fact that while the sloth is killing people, you have these girls in the sorority actually holding these dramatic conversations about losing their boyfriends and all, and it seems like that should be the main focus, but it's really the sloth killing people in the background. Somehow the dynamics just worked for this film, and I thought they were so funny. Um, I definitely recommend this one. If you don't like comedy in your horror, then it's probably not going to be for you. But if you don't mind a little silliness and getting some decent um, slasher kills, then definitely check this one out. Also, don't forget to check out Joe's positive spin for Slotherhouse. Remember, guys, physical media matters. And until next time, peace.